Hey guys, welcome to Simply Bitcoin, a channel that breaks down all the daily Bitcoin news from Twitter to important updates to the cringy fails. We've got it all. But before we get started, please drop us a like and subscribe. All right, we're going to kick it off with the Clark Moody dashboard. Block height, 647,529. Bitcoin price, 10,190. I feel like that's the same price we were at yesterday. Chain rewrite days, 542. Total lightning capacity, 1,061.93 Bitcoin. So,
Bullish.
you know, we're moving along, building steady base.
Phil, I think it's time for the Daily Meme Review.
No, it's the Daily Fail.
Oh, fuck.
Today's meme review is brought to us by Joe Weisenthal. For the people who don't know who Joe is, co-host of the Odd Lots podcast and What'd You Miss on Bloomberg TV, editor. Anyways,
Shout out Joe.
He has a lot of really terrible takes on Bitcoin.
Okay. And why was it the Daily Fail? Phil?
And yeah, so the Daily Fail, sorry about that. You know, I switched back from the screen, but I didn't realize I didn't let anybody read the article. But so Joe has a terrible take. Here's the problem for Bitcoin this year. Today's At Market newsletter, I wrote about how at exactly the moment you want an uncorrelated asset, it's not delivering. Okay, so first of all, there's no other asset in history that has performed like Bitcoin. So it is completely fucking uncorrelated. So the fact that he goes and cherry picks a specific spot in time and decides that in this moment, it's correlated, and that's it. That's its whole history. This whole thing right here is that's what it's correlated to. It's just such BS. So the Daily Fail lesson for this is Joe doesn't know.
All right, I like that. Joe doesn't know.
Doesn't.
All right. Oh my God.
I have yet to see him have a good take on Bitcoin. It's always the wrong side, and I don't know if he just does it for attention, but it's just terrible.
He might do it from engagement, but you heard it here, guys, on Simply Bitcoin First. Joe doesn't know.
Oh, he doesn't know.
Oh, what is that song from Euro Trip? He doesn't know.
Oh, I have no idea.
Whatever. Anyways, Phil, I think it's time for the Daily Meme Review.
But for real. All right.
All right.
But for real.
Let's try that again. All right, look, it's a video. It's a video. Let's see if this matches the Matrix.
Video.
Let me put the volume up.
All right.
For the longest time. For the longest. If you said that Bitcoin was my life, I would tell you, show enough, show you right. What this I do, I'm so inspired by you, and I'm just holding for the longest time.
Okay. Jesus, so long.
I knew Satoshi Nakamoto was the one.
Okay. All right. Okay. Started strong. It started strong, but it didn't end strong. So what are you going to give it?
I think it got dragged out a bit.
It did.
You know? I mean, it's getting... Okay, you ready?
I'm ready.
9.2.
Okay. Solid. I like it.
I mean, it's got all the elements, but what did you give it?
We were close in score, but I gave it an 8.7. It started off like a 10, and then it just kept decreasing in quality. It was an 8.7 for me, bud. But yeah, it was a good try. It was a good effort. And now it's time for the Daily News, sponsored by. Okay, guys. So the daily news for today is, look, I told Phil before the pod, it's a little clickbaity. And you know what? But we have to tell you this because it made quite a buzz on Twitter. Hodlnaut tweeted about it. And it kind of was a big deal based on what we've been telling you for over the past couple of weeks. And it's in the sense that on one of Joe Rogan's guests said yesterday that, the apocalypse is coming. You're going to need a Bitcoin, at least one, right? And what this article doesn't mention, right, is that Joe's like, what about all the other shit coins? And the guy was like, no, they're all shit coins, only Bitcoin significant. But that part was pretty significant for us, obviously. But the other part was that, man, it's gone so mainstream that now regular guests on the Joe Rogan podcast, are mentioning Bitcoin. And that's why we felt it was newsworthy, and that's why we're telling you today. And if you guys want to see the actual 1-second clip where he does mention it, I'll put that link down in the link description. And the next piece of news that Phil sent this to me earlier was smart contract is deployed on Bitcoin mainnet. This was a pretty big deal. This is essentially why Ethereum was created, because apparently you couldn't do this on Bitcoin. And
he did it. I just want to add, they did it with a discrete log contract. Okay. This is with, that's what Ben the Carman was on my podcast last week talking about. And so, smart contracts on Bitcoin.
So could you, because you know a little bit more about this than me, Phil, could you explain a little bit what that is?
So essentially, think of it like this, right? You'd want something to happen based on the outcome of, in this case, a bet, right? Mm-hmm. Not to get too technical because I don't understand, discrete log contracts at the same level as somebody like Ben the Carman who actually writes code for that. But essentially what would happen is that they both lock in their Bitcoin. And what happens is they lock it into this contract. And what happens is that based on the outcome of that contract in the real world, a payout occurs, to either party.
Awesome. So, and then in this example, the bet was the presidential election. So based on the presidential election results, the payout would go to the winner, and it's all middlemen, and there's no middlemen involved. Nope. It's all multi-sig, and it's all on Bitcoin, and that's really cool. That's really significant. I think that's pretty cool. And I'm going to put some more details down the link description if you guys want to know more about the technicalities of it. And Phil, we found an awesome website today. Why don't you tell us about it?
Bitcoin Pleb websites. I can just get you over to it. Okay, so how does Bitcoin work? Gives nice little intro about it. What is Bitcoin? This is very fun.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, man, this is totally amazing, right?
That's
beginner, cool. Gives you like a little beginner guide, some technicals.
That's cool.
To get you started, this is really cool stuff. So shout out to Greg Walker. Great work, excellent work.
Shout out. And we're going to put that in the link description. Phil, you have a podcast dropping out this week. Why don't you tell us more about it?
Yeah. So this week, actually, it's Infinite Justifer. Okay. And we are going to be talking about his website, satbase.org, and also his, his rabbit hole journey and everything like that. So it's really cool stuff. He has began to document how to monetize aspects of Lightning. So that's pretty cool stuff. Check it out on Fun with Bitcoin podcast.
Awesome. So it would be safe to say that for any Lightning fans, they need to definitely tune in for that episode.
They definitely should. And also, I'd also like to mention that Simply Bitcoin has a Telegram group. So if you're on Telegram, we're going to post the link in the show notes. But if you look for Simply Bitcoin on Telegram, you should be able to find us there. And essentially, if you guys have memes that you want us to review on the show, drop them in there. So come on by and say hi.
Whoop, whoop. Yeah, so we're going to have that link in every description for every show now on. I think that you guys will really enjoy picking the memes instead of me and Phil. And anyways, guys, thank you so much for listening. Tune in tomorrow if you want Simply Bitcoin and no shitcoins.